Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tabor Talk, and here's another edition of my After Midnight little short shows here. Tabor Talk. I'm going to jump right into it with Theologian's Dilemma. What is the Theologian's Dilemma? Okay, well, when thinking about whether or not there is a God, the existence of God, whether does God exist or doesn't, well, this is the argument that will win all sort of. If you're in a debate school or philosophy, if you're talking to a theologian, this question, and you'll watch what see how the theologian responds when you ask him, okay, sir or father, okay, theologian's dilemma. You're telling me that God exists. Okay, so you ask him, you go, okay, is God omniscient, which is all-knowing? Father, theologian will say, yes. Is God all-powerful? Omnipotence, yes. Is God all-loving? Omni-benevolent, yes. So you have an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving God, and yet bad things happen. Evil exists. Can't have it. So there you go. So I'm sure the priests and theologians have heard this argument. I mean, obviously they've been hearing this forever, and they can't answer it. They'll try to wiggle it out. As a matter of fact, there's a guy who I can't stand. His name is Alvin Plantinga, and he's just a piece of shit. Quite, I call him a piece of shit because he's not sincere. He's disingenuous, and I actually just finished reading this book on evil, and he has all this logic thing about possible worlds, and he's trying to weasel out like, oh, like God allow something to the effect that say your child dying of leukemia is not, it could be worse, something to that effect. I'm just paraphrasing this. He calls it possible worlds, right? And he's just being cute. He's being a fucking asshole. But just look at it this way, right? An all-powerful, all-knowing God, and all-powerful, all-knowing, omnibenevolent, all-loving, and shit happens. 9/11. I mean, just on and on and on. 9 million children die every year before they. 9 million children die every year in terror and agony before they reach the age of 5. I mean, you could just look at, I don't know, this book here, Diseases of the Human Body, and Tay-Sachs disease, and just, I'm not going to get into all the horrible things that happen in the world every day. As we speak at this moment, someone's dying. Someone's dying in terror and agony. So there's no explanation for it. They can't. Nobody can answer that. So here's the way I believe in God. I'm a universalist, but I think the definition is wrong. There's a great book by Mortimer Adler, How to Think About God. So something you can't have all knowing and all powerful and all loving. You just can't. So let's just say, let me paint the scenario. Let's just say your 3-year-old daughter has leukemia, and she is dying, and she's in absolute horrible pain, right? And you try to imagine someone who knows that your daughter is dying of leukemia, and she's in agony right now, and this, whatever, let's just say God knows this, has the power to cure her, and chooses not to. That is evil. So you're saying, well, let's see free will and let the world, I can't, there's no intervention, this sort of thing. By the way, that goes against the grain about people who believe in intercession. Like no, you can't have it both ways, right? So anyway, a situation like that, if you scratch one, then maybe you could have it. Like, say, okay, the 3-year-old who's dying of leukemia. Okay, you could say, all right, God is all powerful, is all knowing, but he's not all loving. All right, so You can have that. You can't have all three, though. So you could say, all right, scratch. Let's say God is all powerful and all loving, but he's not all knowing. So then the God wouldn't know about the 3-year-old with leukemia. And then the last one is the all powerful. Maybe God is all knowing and all loving, but not all powerful. So yes, God is aware of the child, loves the child, but doesn't have the power to cure the child. See what I mean? So you can have 2 or 3, but not 3. Theologian's dilemma, it's just the recap: an omniscient, all-knowing God, an omnipotent, all-powerful God, and an omni-benevolent, all-loving God. Evil exists and bad things happen. Can't have it. All right. I like to get people's feedback on this.